Ladies and gentlemen, the entire Caribbean and Central America are experiencing one of the most extreme and complex weather events since the beginning of this rainy season. A large-scale atmospheric system, combining a cold air mass pouring down from North America, the tropical monsoon trough, and the Central American gyre, has created powerful convective flows, bringing torrential rain and fierce gusty winds. Many places in the region, especially Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, and Belize, are facing severe flooding, landslides, and a widespread risk of disasters. Although there is no officially named storm, what is happening in reality is equivalent to a strong tropical cyclone, as the measured rainfall over the past few days has reached hundreds of millimeters and shows no sign of ending. On the satellite map, we can clearly see a cold front stretching from the southeastern United States, arching across Florida, then extending southward through Cuba and the Bahamas, and connecting with the Western Caribbean. Ahead of the frontal trough is the battleground between two air masses, the dry, cold air from the north and the warm, humid air from the equatorial seas, creating a vast convergent zone that brings severe thunderstorms. At the same time, south of the front, the Central American gyre, CIG, is strongly active, drawing moisture from two oceans and pushing this entire air mass into the Western Caribbean. When the airflows meet, the water vapor is compressed, causing thick thunderclouds to develop and rain to pour down almost without stopping for many consecutive days. According to meteorological models, rainfall in the next 3 to 5 days may reach 150 to 300 millimeters, or about 8 to 12 inches, especially in Costa Rica, Panama, and the Caribbean coast of Nicaragua. More worryingly, this is additional rainfall on ground already saturated after many days of previous rain, greatly increasing the risk of flash floods, landslides, and deep inundation. Disaster prevention agencies in Central America have activated regional red alerts, requesting that people in mountainous areas and near rivers and streams proactively evacuate when there are abnormal signs. In Honduras, one of the most heavily affected countries, the weather has clearly worsened since the beginning of the week. Many northern coastal areas such as San Pedro Sula, La Ceiba, and the Bay Islands are being hit by torrential rains that last around the clock. Winds blowing strongly from the north, with gusts in some places over 60 km/h, are causing rough seas. Images recorded in Roatan and Guanaja show waves 2 to 3 meters high, water spilling up to the docks, and many small fishing boats forced to suspend operations. The Honduran government has issued an emergency warning for flash floods and landslides, requiring people in the western mountainous regions and along the Caribbean rivers to move to safe places. Next door, in Belize, the situation is also becoming complicated. Prolonged heavy rain has caused water levels on rivers such as the Belize River and the Sibun River to rise rapidly. In many riverside residential areas, water has already overflowed into homes, forcing residents to evacuate. The government of Belize has requested the closure of some main roads and deployed rescue forces to support people in isolated areas. Forecasts show that in the next 2 days, additional rainfall may reach 100 to 150 millimeters, prolonging the flooding situation at least until the weekend. Farther south, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and Panama are becoming the precipitation core of the entire region. This is where two moist air flows, blowing from the Pacific Ocean and converging from the Atlantic Ocean, meet. In the next 72 hours, rainfall is forecast to exceed 250 millimeters, equivalent to nearly 10 inches, causing deep, widespread flooding. In Costa Rica, many Caribbean coastal areas such as Limon and Puerto Viejo have recorded uninterrupted rain for 4 days, river levels rising, and many roads cut off. Panama is no exception. The major rivers such as the Chagres and the Tuira are rising rapidly, accompanied by tidal effects, flooding many coastal residential areas. The Panamanian Meteorological Agency warns that people should not leave their homes during heavy rain and must absolutely avoid traveling through bridges, streams, and steep hills at night. On the Caribbean Sea, the Cayman Islands and Jamaica are also indirectly affected by this system. Strong winds, showers, and waves 2 to 3 meters high are causing very rough seas. In Grand Cayman, heavy showers have lasted from last night to this morning, with estimated rainfall of 60 to 80 millimeters in just 24 hours. Daytime temperatures have dropped to about 26 to 27 degrees here below average. Seas around Little Cayman and Cayman Brac have also seen large waves disrupting maritime transport. Fishermen are advised to secure their boats and suspend fishing at least until the weekend. In Jamaica, scattered showers have appeared in many areas, concentrated in the western part of the island, with Montego Bay recording short but very heavy downpours. Although the rain is not too prolonged, due to weakened ground after Hurricane Melissa last month, just a few heavy showers can cause landslides and localized flooding in hilly areas. In Cuba, the cold air mass has surged strongly southward. Northerly and northeasterly winds have brought temperatures in Havana down to around 20 degrees, 5 degrees lower than the November average. There are scattered light showers, but strong winds have stirred the seas along coastal provinces, such as Matanzas, Villa Clara, and Holguin. Waves 1.5 to 2.5 meters high are posing danger to nearshore maritime activities. Cuban meteorologists assess that this is the strongest cold spell since the beginning of autumn, which may last a few more days before weakening. Meanwhile, in the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos, the impact of the cold front is evident through the sharp drop in temperatures and the dry northerly winds. In Freeport and Nassau, morning temperatures fluctuate around 19-21 degrees Celsius, with cloudy skies and winds blowing strongly at force 5 to 6, with gusts at times above 40 km/h. Offshore in the Atlantic, waves 3.4 meters high have led maritime authorities to maintain advisories for small vessels. It is forecast that by November 15th, the weather will gradually become drier in the northwestern Bahamas, while the central and southeastern parts of the archipelago may still see localized showers. In Turks and Caicos, rainfall in the next 48 hours is estimated at about 20-40 millimeters. Not large, but enough to cause inconvenience for daily activities. In contrast to the harshness in the west, the Eastern Caribbean, including Haiti, the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and the Antilles island chain, is enjoying relatively stable weather. Showers only appear sporadically, with rainfall of 5 to 10 millimeters, not hindering tourism. Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands have light easterly winds with intermittent sunshine, while the southern islands such as St. Lucia, Barbados, Grenada, and Trinidad and Tobago maintain warm, sunny conditions with temperatures of 30-31 degrees. The sea is only slightly choppy, winds 25-30 km/h, suitable for maritime and beach tourism activities. Meteorologists say that this sequence of extreme events is not only confined to the Caribbean, but is also closely linked to a larger-scale atmospheric system extending to Canada and North America. To the north, the provinces of Nova Scotia and Newfoundland are experiencing strong gusts of 100-130 km/h and multiple rounds of heavy rain. Some outdoor activities, including the memorial ceremony in St. John's, have been forced to be canceled due to heavy rain and strong winds. In the west, California is preparing for a prolonged major rain system with estimated rainfall of several inches, accompanied by snowfall on the Sierra Nevada range. Meanwhile, the Great Lakes region of the United States and eastern Canada continues to see mixed rain and snow with frost, while the prairie plains are temporarily warm with above-average temperatures. Returning to the Caribbean, the notable point is that although there is no named tropical cyclone, the weak low-pressure area trapped in the Western Caribbean is still sufficient to maintain a prolonged rain band over many days. Moist air from the ocean is blocked by the cold front to the north, preventing water vapor from escaping upward and leading to persistent rain. Forecasters say that models have not recorded any signals of storm formation, but the likelihood of localized heavy rain and flooding remains very high. It is forecast that by November 15th or 16th, when the front weakens and gradually shifts into the Atlantic, the rainfall situation will tend to decrease. In the short term, Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, and Honduras will still be the areas with the heaviest rainfall. People must strictly follow the guidance of the authorities, stay away from rivers and steep slopes. Coastal households should reinforce roofs, secure boats, and prepare essential supplies and backup batteries in case of power outages due to prolonged heavy rain. For fishermen in Jamaica, Cayman, and Turks and Caicos, it is advised not to go to sea while gale warnings remain and waves are above 3 meters. Areas previously affected by Hurricane Melissa, especially Jamaica and Haiti, need to be particularly vigilant because weak ground easily causes subsidence and landslides. Ladies and gentlemen, this sequence of extreme weather is clear evidence of the complex interconnectedness of the global atmosphere. A cold air mass from North America can directly affect tropical countries thousands of kilometers away. Heavy rain, strong winds, and rough seas are not just isolated phenomena, but part of an intercontinental scale interaction chain. However, according to long-term forecasts, after this weekend, the cold air mass will gradually weaken, the rain will decrease, temperatures will rise slightly, and the Caribbean skies will gradually clear again. We will continue to update the latest developments and deliver them to you in upcoming bulletins. If you live or work in affected areas, always keep up to date with weather information. Follow the guidance of local authorities and ensure the safety of yourself and your family. You are watching the International Weather Bulletin on Weather Today, the trusted tropical meteorological information channel. Thank you for your attention. We wish you a peaceful day and look forward to seeing you in the next bulletin with the latest updates on the weather in the Caribbean region and the world.